Okay, is it 4:30? Yes, it is. I think it's coming live. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. It's Deanna from Stitch Quilting, and I am so excited to join you guys today. Can you guys let me know that this is actually projecting live and that it's working? I'm not sure if it's working yet. Oh, it says in, oh, maybe it is. I'm not sure. I'm trying to see if this is working. So let me know if you think it's working or not. Let's see. I see some people on there. Yay! Okay. I've set up a new system for videos. And let me turn down this volume so we don't have to hear each other. Hi, everybody. You guys, I've missed you so much. I had a conference I went to, and then I was really inspired to up my video game, and I have been working very hard on that. So we have 3 cameras that we are using. We are using a frontal camera. We are using an above camera that's going to look down at what I'm working on right here. And then I've got a third camera that is zoomed in on the sewing machine. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Let me go ahead and show you just a couple of those shots. I will have to, during the video, go ahead and change from shot to shot. And I'm going to do that with my computer right over here. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up that that's what we're doing, and it should be a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens. I do want to, let me make sure one more thing is working real quickly. Today we are actually going to work on the Stitch Happens quilt. It is right over here behind me, and it is looking real fine. Can you let me know if my audio is working correctly? Are you hearing my audio okay? Let me know if there's any audio problems, because I am using a little lav mic and I just want to make sure that there's no delay in the audio. Okay, so then what's really nice about this is we can actually see the comments on the video that are right here to my left. And the comments on the video to my left are going to be comments all from Facebook and also from YouTube. So that way we can actually see the comments that are going on. And I'm really excited about that. So hello, everybody. I have missed you guys so much. So let me go ahead and give a quick shout out. I wanted to show you guys what Liz Boyce from Canada made for me. And it is this most adorable bag, and I have really enjoyed it. It has been a lot of fun, and but she mailed this to me all the way from Canada, and it has the most beautiful fabric. It has thimbles on there, and I just really want to thank you, Liz, if you happen to be on live, that this really made my day, and I can't wait to take some pictures of it and share with you guys too. But look at this wonderful bag that she made for me. It's like a little box. If you can see, I'm going to move this laptop. I'm just keeping this on here so I can see comments that are on here. Thank you, Corey, for helping me with the camera. Okay, well, in here, I am going, and I'm going to actually use this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to use this for. But we are going to give away some Aurifil thread today. So I have got 6 spools of Aurifil thread, and that is what we are going to be doing as our giveaway. So there's some different colors. I tried to pick out maybe some neutral colors for you that would give you the feel of that you could just piece with whatever you wanted. So here's some neutral colors of Aurifil thread, and we're going to go ahead and share this a little bit later in the video. So, and in fact, we'll be doing lots of things. But with this little box that Liz shared with me, oh, thank you for letting me know that the audio sounds good. Thank you. I'm so relieved. I really am. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to now switch all of my Stitch Happens stuff into this box. I was using this little box that I got from the dollar store, but I'm now going to put everything in here because I'm just so excited to have this. All right, so far with the Stitch Happens quilt, some of you have already finished your blocks or the whole quilt too, but we are going to bang out a lot of these. We have got this block right here that is part E of the pattern. We have got part A of the pattern stitched together. We did this part that is actually the sewing machine needle right back here, and those were flying geese. And then we did part J of the pattern. So we're going to go ahead and advance on to another part of the sewing machine. So let's go ahead and do a switch on the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my overhead shot. So let's go ahead and transition to that. So here is the Stitch Happens pattern, which is what we're working on. These were the pieces of the quilt patterns that we've already done. And I'm sure you guys can see how these were laid out. But this is the pattern, and it is actually a sewing machine. And on this sewing machine, we've got lots of really neat. What do you guys think about the camera change? You guys, was that smooth or what? I'm really excited about it. But we're going to go ahead and work on this. This is a pattern that is written by Kelly Fannin. And so this is available for purchase at Stitches Quilting. A lot of you guys have already purchased it. But if you're interested in getting the pattern, the instructions, the handout, or whatever you need for this, you can write anything on Facebook about Stitch Happens. I love the colors. Send me the pattern. There's just lots of different things that you can write right here in order to get the automatic link. On YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, you can go ahead and look down in the description of the video for the links to the video itself. So that's what we're going to go ahead and be working on today. We are actually going to be working on, I have bagged my sections up into little parts, and there is a printable that's available with this that we went ahead and did. And we're going to be working on part C right here. So you can see I made these little printable that you can go ahead and cut this out. For some reason, if you did not get this page, go back to the website and it will download it for you. Okay, so good. I'm glad the great camera views. Thank you, Jane. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is wonderful. I can write that down on a piece of paper for you, Corey. Hold on. Corey is sharing the video, and I am going to just go ahead and share with him my password. Oop, hold on. So what we are going to do is we are going to work on part C, which has this purple. It has the navy blue, and it has a darker purple fabric that is on there. So there's that. And let's go ahead and look at the instructions of this. I'm not going to share the secrets of it. Yes. I'm not going to share the secrets of what the size of these are, but I do have we're going to work on this little segment right here. All right. But what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and sew these together. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at this. We can set these aside that we've already done. I think this is a great quilt to learn how to quilt. And you know what? I think I'm actually missing a piece of this fabric. I need another piece of navy blue. What a bummer. Okay, I'm going to have to grab that. I have a bin. And then we're going to use this really dark color to go ahead and sew the pinwheel shapes on there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change to a screen because right here we need to make a 4 patch. So here is our 4 patch right here, and we're going to change the screen to the actual sewing machine. So let's go ahead and do that very quickly. and we're going to go ahead and switch. And here we go. So we're zoomed in on the sewing machine. So you guys don't have too much distraction. I'll go ahead and lay these things over. We are actually going to sew a 4-patch. So what we're going to do is just stitch these two together right here. Oh, let me go ahead and transition this over. I'm sorry, you guys. So here we are, and we're going to sew a 4-patch block. And we're going to use this navy blue and this purple fabric right here. I'm going to place these right sides together, and I am going to lay this under my sewing machine. Remember, when we're sewing these blocks for quilting, for this particular quilt, the instructions actually say to use a scant quarter-inch seam. So you're just going to use something slightly smaller than a true quarter-inch seam. So right here, what we're going to do is just bring this up, and you can see that I've got these two pieces sewn together at a scant quarter-inch seam right there. All right, I need to grab the other navy blue fabric. I had no idea that that was missing, but I'll show you guys. Let's go ahead and do this back to the overhead. I'll show you guys how we will go ahead and cut that fabric. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is let's go ahead and open up the instructions for the rest of this part C. And yes, so good job, you guys. The pattern you actually have to purchase from Kelly. It is on the website. And let me go ahead and go to the part where it has all of this. And we are going to sew the pinwheel. So the pinwheel is fabric number 1, and I actually need another piece of this fabric right here. And I'm going to need another piece of the navy blue. So, and we've got fabric number 4, we have 2 squares, and so I am just a little bit short on this pattern right here, but let's go ahead and review some basic cutting. So how is everybody doing? I am so excited. Thank you, Nina. I'm really excited that this is working to actually go ahead and switch the cameras from one to another. Let's see here. Corey, could you hand me this box right over there? The plastic bin. I need to just grab another navy blue and that black fabric right there. So let's go ahead and put this right here. And here is the pattern. I need that kind of over this way. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and grab that navy blue right there and the, let's look here. The navy blue. Here we go. Here's the navy blue. So I found some navy blue, and I need a piece of that other black fabric. Okay, let me look here. I'm just looking really quickly. Let's see here, Corey. Maybe you could grab us. And remember, today we're going to go ahead and give away 6 different Aurifil threads is what we're going to go ahead and do. But I am going to cut this navy blue fabric, and let's go ahead and do a demo on how to cut fabric. So I've got kind of this piece sticking out right here, and I am going to square some of this up. So let me grab my rotary blade, and I'm going to square this up right along here. Oh, I think there's maybe a chip or something on there. Here we go. So let's go ahead and square this up right like that. Sorry, let's pull that back a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And let's see what the size of that block should be. Did I drop something? Oh my goodness gracious. Crazy, crazy me. Where did that? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is, I'm measuring this, so I'm going to cut some accurately. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this with my ruler. I could square this up to the lines of the grid of the sewing machine, but when you do quilt, you're actually going to want to use a ruler and a rotary blade to go ahead and cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that square right there. And then I'm going to clean off the edge. There we go. And then we're going to line this back up again. And I am right-handed. I don't know about you guys, but I am actually right-handed. And I don't think any of the cameras are backwards. Do you guys see any of the cameras as backwards? So now I have got my 2 squares. Oh, sorry. I've got my 2 squares of the navy blue and the 2 squares of the purple. So we're going to go ahead and alternate these like this. So you can see we're going to just make a simple 4 square block. So let's go ahead and switch this around back to our sewing machine shot. And here we go. It seems almost as if the sewing machine is too close. So I'm going to move that back so we don't keep changing our the focus on it. So let's go ahead and lay this up here. Remember, we're stitching with a scant 1/4 inch seam. So let's go ahead and lay this back down. Very, very fun. Okay, oh, what am I doing here? Oh, let me go ahead and bring my needle up. And ew, it came unthreaded. Why does that happen to me? That is so silly. Okay, but that's okay. I'm sure that happens to all of us. All right, so we're going to go ahead and catch that upper part right there. And we're going to rethread this very quickly. I actually have a threader on my machine. And I'm going to bring that up. And let's bring this over. There we go. Oh, my goodness. Okay, it didn't quite catch. Let me try that again. Do you guys have a problem with that sometimes, where it doesn't quite catch? There we go. I think I bent my little hook. You do have to be careful with that. Let's bring this back up. So I've got my quilting machine foot on here, a quilting foot, and I can show you a close-up of that. So on this quilting foot, you can see that the 1/4 inch seam is just right here where that red is. So I'm going to try to go a little bit more narrow. So this is actually a quilting foot where it has a 1/4 inch seam marked. If you don't have a 1/4 inch foot, you're going to just put like a piece of washi tape. You can really put anything on your sewing machine to mark your 1/4 inch seam. Okay, let's go ahead and close that. So I've put these 2 right sides of the fabric together, and we're just going to sew on here a scant 1/4 inch seam. Just slightly smaller than a 1/4 inch. It's kind of hard to speculate, isn't it? But it does work. So we're just doing it slightly more narrow than that actual 1/4 inch. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring this up and trim that thread. So when we open this up, you can see we've got a nice look to that. So we've got our 2 pieces. We're now going to sew these opposite each other, but I am going to give them a press before I go ahead and stitch these together. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take these over to my ironing board. I don't have a camera on my ironing board, you guys, so hold tight for just one moment. I guess we could switch back to the other camera. So let me go ahead and go over here, and let's switch this right here. Okay, guys, here I am. So here is the iron that I have, and I am going to just lay these out, and I'm going to press to the dark side. Now, both of these fabrics are dark, so I think either side that we press them are wonderful. And I'm going to just lay this down. It really is important to try to press as you go along so you can see how flat these pieces are. I'm going to take us back over to the sewing machine though, because I do want to show you how the flaps go in other directions. Are the small cutters good for cutting small pieces of fabric? Okay, so someone's asking about the small Olfa cutter. You guys, this was just kind of handy to grab at the moment. And anyways, I'm not sure where my other one is at this moment, but it's somewhere really close to me. It's just underneath something. So I did grab this smaller one. Some people prefer a smaller Olfa cutter or rotary blade. You can really use any. Some people prefer something a little bit larger, so you never know. What do you guys prefer? And if you want to, let's try to get this video to go as viral as we possibly do. So that, yes, so Ella, you said you never do a quilt by yourself, and would this be a good one? I think that this is a good quilt. We also have several other quilts that we're working on, but I'll show you those in just a moment. But we are giving away 6 things of Aurifil thread today, and we'll be doing that in just a moment. I'm going to switch you back to the sewing machine. So let's go ahead and take that back over. I think we've got a good distance now. So here we have our 2 pieces, and instead of them matching up side by side, we want these pieces to alternate their colors. I'm going to see if that won't stop focusing. And when we match these up, we're going to try to match this center seam right here in the middle. So you can see that this seam is, when it's being sewn, we have like a little flap of fabric right here and right here. We want those little flaps to go opposite of each other. What would be a good way to show that? I think probably like that. So we're going to smush those together, and this is called nesting your seams, and I'm going to smash them there. When you nest your seams, you can go either direction. I actually pressed it a little bit more naturally that way. You can then take a pin and put your pin in right where the seams are nested. You don't need to bring your pin all the way out over here so that you'll run over it necessarily. So you can just kind of keep your pin right over here. So let's go ahead and do this again. Stitch this at a scant quarter inch seam. Did my thread unthread again? I must be having like a sewing machine issue. Guys, I apologize. What am I doing? I must be ripping that thread away. I have no idea what I am doing here and why this is coming unthreaded. That's too funny. I must be concentrating too much on making sure that the filming is good. So, yes, so if you want, you can go ahead and make a comment at Facebook to get the link of the pattern for this quilt. I'm going to bring this down and go ahead and thread this. Got to just bring that over just slightly. Okay. And but if you're interested in the pattern for this, or interested in the kit, a lot of you guys have already purchased it and already have your quilts made. I am just a little behind because we were working on so many different projects. So let's go ahead and, or more behind than I would like to be, that is to say. Okay, so there's a lot of thread there now. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and stitch this again at a scant quarter inch seam, which is just a little bit smaller than a regular quarter inch seam. Going to go ahead and bring this along. I have white thread in, or a gray thread that I'm using, and you'll be able to see the stitching on the dark fabric. So we're going to go ahead and bring this all the way up. I'm going to make sure I don't unthread this sewing machine. So you can see right here, here's the stitching line, and you can see how my seams are matched up, and there's a stitching line on that side, and you can see the stitching line right here. I'm going to go ahead and take my pin out, and I'm going to press this really quickly, and I'll open it up for you guys to see. Okay, so tell me, what is everybody doing out there? Oh, you guys, thanks for sharing the video. You are so, so kind. You know, the scant quarter inch seam is just something that Kelly Fannin said that would be wise to do in her pattern right here for the Stitch Happens quilt. So I actually didn't read the instructions, And so it was one of you guys that shared with me that it needed to be a scant 1/4 inch instead of a regular 1/4 inch. Funny, isn't that, Shelly? Thank you. That's a great, you're right. I could also move the needle over. You're right about that. A scant is 2 threads smaller than a regular 1/4 inch. Very good. Thank you, Dee Dee, for sharing that. I love how you guys, that it's not just me teaching you, it's us teaching each other. So very, very good. And you guys, thanks for sharing so much. It'd be fun to see this just go just really viral and fun. So here is our beautiful 4 square block that goes into this quilt. And so we have made this this block, and it is going to go right here. So let me go ahead and point. So that's right where this block is going to go, right there. So now we need to go ahead and make the pinwheel block. So I'm going to go ahead and have you go above and do the above shot, because I do have to cut one more piece of that black fabric. So let's go ahead and transfer to the above shot. And you guys, I'm so proud of myself. I have done everything with my own camera, with things I already owned. Corey, could you do me a favor? So you guys, what we're going to do is I need you to go downstairs and grab this fabric right here, if you don't mind. So now what we're going to do is we just sewed right here. If you could bring that back to me, that would be wonderful. And but what we did is we went ahead and sewed this little 4 patch right here. So part C is actually that 4 patch, and then this pinwheel right here. So we're going to go ahead, and one of the first things that we need to do for a pinwheel block is we need to actually mark the pinwheel block on the back of the fabric, which this is a solid. And so, you know, really, what is the back? What is the front? You don't necessarily have to worry about that. But we're going to mark some little lines on the back of that. I'm doing this on the purple because when it's on the purple, oh yeah, Corey's here, you guys. Thanks for being so sweet. He definitely had to help me with this one. Anyways, but we're going to go ahead and mark on the lighter piece of fabric instead of the darker fabric. Let's go ahead and go over here and do the same thing with this other piece of fabric. And I just use a pencil. What kind of instruments do you guys actually use for this? I really wonder. So anyways, but so here we have our 2 squares that we are going to use to go ahead and put, we're going to make the pinwheel blocks now. And we need that black fabric. So Corey is coming back with that black fabric in just one moment. Let me just make sure I don't have any other stash of it somewhere. Let me look. I don't see it, but I could replace it with a different fabric. I could kind of replace it with a fabric like this. Let me go ahead and look at what those pieces are that they should be. It's so number 1 and number 4. So I can see what the sizes are. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. We're going to go ahead and set this up here. So I'm going to just go ahead and deviate and use this fabric right here. Corey hasn't come back, but we are going to square up this fabric. So you can see this right here. And I'm going to trim off this really nasty raw edge. So that's pretty crazy right there. Yeah, I use a pencil. I don't know about you guys, but I do use a pencil. So we're going to go ahead and pull that off. For some reason, it didn't cut very well right there. And I'm going to measure this over. And it is, I'm going to make sure that this is the same size as that. I feel like this size is not quite right. Let me look one more time. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and use this one, sweetie. So 2 7/8. Number 4. So I feel like this one is just slightly off. Let me look at this. That's more like 2 1/2. Maybe some of my fabrics got a little mixed up. So we're going to actually cut both of these. These squares should be the same size, so I'm going to just lay this on top of here, and we can go ahead and use a little bit of this fabric right here. I'm going to cut some of this with my scissors. This is what Corey found. It's a little bit different than that one, but I think we'll be just fine with that, right? Here we go. We're going to set that away. And then we're going to just lay this down. I'm going to clean both of these edges together because I just didn't feel like those were clean squares. All right, here we go. Let's bring this down. Go ahead and cut that over at the top. So I'm definitely trying to square up the fabric. And I'm going to measure this at what it should be measured, but I'm not going to say what that is, because that just wouldn't be fair to Kelly Fannin that wrote the pattern, right? Okay, so there we go. And you guys, I don't know if you got both sides of, or both things of the color guide. I did have to make a correction to the fabric on one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this again. Remember, I actually have two fabrics sitting right here, and so I'm going to cut these two fabrics together is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to measure these again. I'm putting on my reading glasses. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely need those reading glasses. There we go. I think I need a sharper blade on this. I think I need a little bit of a sharper blade. That is too funny. That is not wanting to go through there. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and lay this down. And this may actually be for another block. We'll see. Maybe some of mine got a little bit mixed up. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cut this one right here. And let's see if it cut through. It did. Okay, great. Okay, so once again, what I'm going to do is these we're not going to use, but I'm going to line these up, and I'm going to sew on this lighter fabric, the purple. Oh, I have some of my, we're going to sew on this lighter fabric, the purple, our diagonal line right there, and we're going to sew on this one on the diagonal line right here. There we go. And then we're going to lay these together, okay? So let's go ahead and go back to the sewing machine. So we're going to go ahead and go right over here. I'm going to switch the cameras real fast, and we will transition over to the sewing machine. So what we are going to do is actually stitch on either side of this. Whoop, here's my, we're going to stitch 1/4 inch from this center line on both sides of this, and I'm going to string feed these together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch right like this, and it's nice because I can actually look straight at the sewing machine. Whoop, we're going to bring that up for a minute. And once again, you do want to do your scant 1/4 inch with your, even with these pinwheels, the flying geese, it's more important then. Then I'm going to string feed this in just a little bit. I'm going to match that up right here so I don't have to cut, stop, and do my threads over and over. We're going to bring that down and just kind of bring this along. Oh, I'm going to straighten this out a little bit. There we go. Oh, I think I could make that a little bit more scant. Kind of going on more of the true 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to trim this. Now I'm going to, you can see that these are string fed together, but I'm going to actually go cut on, or go stitch down this other side 1/4 inch from this mark right here. And this will give us the pinwheel blocks that we need to have to go ahead and stitch these together into a pinwheel block. Okay, here we go. I'm so eager to look at all the comments and what everybody is saying. Corey, can you tell me what some of the comments are? If people have questions or comments that they've got. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring this up, and we're going to trim this where these are connected. I'm going to just give like a little snip right here and right here. And then we're going to go ahead and cut this fabric just right down here, right down the center of that line that we made. Did you see any comments, Corey? Okay. Okay, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to go ahead, and this could actually use a little bit more of a scant 1/4 inch. I didn't feel like I got much of a scant 1/4 inch right there. So I'm going to stitch right over that one more time. And let's see here. And I may need to pick some of that out later, which I'll do later. I don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that up. Okay, so that looks a little bit more accurate to me. It's kind of hard to see, but I did just slightly in. It's like those 2 pieces of thread that we talked about. Okay. Oh, Dolores, you're making a pinwheel quilt right now. How wonderful. We're going to go ahead and just cut this along here, and I'm going to press these open. So let's go ahead and change the camera view again, and I am going to just talk to you guys while we are doing that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and press for a moment. So I'm going to look at some of the comments and look at what people are saying. So here I am. I got to make sure I can see over here if I'm in the camera or not. But I'm now going to take these and I'm going to actually set the seams. Let's go ahead and let me see here. I love my bag by Liz Boyce. Liz, I appreciate you so much. Isn't this the perfect container to organize our Stitch Happens blocks? I just love it. Let me get a design board real quickly, just one moment, and then that way I can press just right here with you guys. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and press these, and I'm going to set my seams first. So here we have our little pressing area. I'm going to grab this. Here we go in our danger zone again. Just press on top of here, like so. Oops. There we go, right there. And now I'm going to press these open. So what I did is I just kind of set my seam. So now we're going to open these up. I'm actually going to turn it to the lighter side. And then that way the fabric will push over to the darker side. So let's go ahead and open these up as we're pressing. Here we go. So we're going to just do a little. There's a huge arrow. Oh my gosh, you are right. Let me move my arrow. Yes, that's too funny, you guys. Yep, let me move my arrow. That's funny. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's go ahead and open up this next one. Very good, you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Getting ready to sandwich your quilt. Okay, you guys, that is what my next video is going to be. If I can get the cameras to figure this out at a quite a distance, because we are going to layer the farmhouse floral quilt. So is what we're going to do. So here we have these 4 open, and now I'm going to reposition these so that they're all going an opposite direction. So I can move the iron over, but you can see that we're going to go ahead and just lay these out so that then we have a pinwheel block. You guys, thank you for helping me with this video. I think it's going okay. I really do. Okay, so there's that right there. So we have our pinwheel block, and we're going to actually sew these 2 together, and then we're going to sew these 2 together, then we'll sew all 4. So I think it looks like a lovely block. And won't this look lovely with this on top of it? It really is just a nice little block series for here. So, okay, so let me see. Arrow gone. Thank you, Shelly. Lay it down and do the overhead when I iron. Great idea, you guys. Okay, we can switch it around. Okay, so let me go ahead and take this over to the sewing machine view. And I'm going to go ahead and stitch these together so you guys can actually see it. Okay, we're at the sewing machine. And we are going to, let's go ahead and lay this here. Let me show you what we'll do. So we have our design board right here. And we're going to lay these two together right here like that. And we're going to lay these together right here like that. Okay? And we're going to string feed these. So once again, I can feel that those are matched up. And we could also trim off these dog ears right here too. So let's go ahead and trim off the dog ears, the extra little tidbits of fabric that are sitting on there. And we're going to start string feeding this again at the scant 1/4 inch. So let's go ahead and put this on. I am so excited that these videos might improve. Okay, so there we go at about our scant 1/4 inch. And I'm going to string feed this next piece through. But once again, I'm going to go ahead and trim off my dog ears because they're not needed. Sorry, this camera is just going from autofocus to autofocus. Crazy, huh? We're going to have to fix that. That's something to fix on the camera shooting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring this over and stitch this together at the 1/4 inch seam. Let me think about this, how this was laid out. Hold on. I kind of moved it all around. We're going to want to go right here. Right here is where we're going to want to start that 1/4 inch seam. Sorry, I did move mine around. If you move it around, you do want to kind of readjust what you're looking at. Let me go ahead and make sure that's feeding through. Because it could be sewing it so it's not quite the right direction. Let me scoot that over just a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Oh, I think that's what I'm doing. Yep. When I do that, when I pull that up and the needle is down, that's when I am so here we have this part of the top of the pinwheel right here. And you can see that there's about a 1/4 inch space right here, so that when we sew these two together, they will go ahead and look appropriate. Oh boy, now that did not match. Did you guys see that? That is too funny. That does not match. Okay, so let's do some unpicking here. Let's go ahead and unpick. Goodness gracious. Yep, I definitely spun it around when I was getting that done. So let's go ahead and unpick this. Okay, who has unpicked today? You know what? It feels good to unpick. And actually, if your fabric, this is really good quality fabric that we have done for this quilt, you can actually pretty much, break it off and rip it off because your fabric is stronger than the thread. So you can often do that. Now let's look at this really carefully before I sew this together again. So we've got this one right up here. Okay, and we need this to match. So we're going to want to do this one right here, right? Whoops, let me bring this up a little bit more. And we're going to want to do this one right here. Okay, so these will match right here. This one's intact. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and turn this again. Okay, we're going to stitch this right here. Here we go. And our scant 1/4 inch. Oh, I didn't thread my top thing, but I now know how I am breaking my thread. It's when the needle is in the position down and I'm actually trimming the thread. There we go. So now I have found a pattern to my madness that I can, do not wiggle that to the point that I'm going to need to, Okay, let's try that one more time. Okay, any comments that we've got, Corey? Misery loves company. That's so true. Oh my goodness.
Your camera's focusing on the closest object.
I know it is, isn't it?
Your lighting looks better.
We've got to move that back.
I can see a big improvement. I missed this part of your video.
Okay, so let's look at this. Let's go ahead and sew this together. Yeah, we'll have to work on what we're doing back here with this back camera so that it is not going in and out of focus a whole bunch. I'll have to lock the focus on the camera, and then that will definitely help, is what I'll do on the sewing machine. Okay, so now we have these two pieces, and you can see there's a space there to actually sew together and accommodate our 1/4 inch seam. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just move this back over here. Well, I guess we could try the ironing. Let's go ahead and try the ironing real fast. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. Let's iron while we're in the up above position. So once again, it's ideal to set your seams when you're pressing. So we're going to go ahead and just lay that down. Then we're going to open these up right like that and right like this. You can actually have those little sides going different directions. Let's go ahead and press right here. Okay, there we go. Look, we pressed with an overhead shot. Now I need like a true blue pressing board. We're going to have to make one together. Yes. Yes, Dolores, you've been unpicking a lot making the pinwheel. Yeah, I'm surprised. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to make sure that when we stitch this closed right here, that we're going to actually cross these marks right here where our 1/4 inch seam is. So we're going to want to make sure that when we are laying these together, and this is how we have our seams matched. So I'm going to match these up like this. You can see that there's actually the two, boy, there's a lot of extra threads here. Let's see if I can trim some of these threads for you guys. Okay, so you can see that there's these two little flaps, and I'm going to have the flaps go opposite each other. So hold on for one moment. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the little point where this purple is. And you can see that right here, let me grab a pen for you guys. So right here is the mark where there is an intersection. And this is the way we're going to want to cross over, because we've got a thread coming this way and we've got a thread coming this way. So we're going to want to go across right where that intersection is, and that's going to ensure that the points are actually matching when we stitch them together. So let's look at the other side. All right. So once again, we have this right here, that line where the stitches are, and we have this line where the stitches are. But idealistically, we're going to want to cross right through the center. So sometimes, let's see, where did my pin go? Let's grab another pin. So when I am actually marking this, I will mark this right through that point where those intersected. And you can see it's coming right out right there. And it's coming right at the point of the triangle. What is a true blue ironing board? A pressing board is what I'd like to get, but an ironing board is an ironing board that I think kind of stands up. So I'm going to go ahead and push these together so that we're for sure going to match those seams. All right, so let's go ahead and put it in that way. All right, so I'm just being a little bit more particular with this block because I'd like it to turn out really nice. I could have squared up these squares a little bit more. All right, so now what I'm going to do is this is marking where those intersections are and where we want the points to meet. I'm going to put a pin right here, and I'm going to put a pin up here. Let's see what other questions we have. Oh my gosh, I love that you guys are saying hi to each other. I love it. It's like we have our own community, isn't it? Okay, there we go. And let's go ahead and bring this one right over here. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just put these 3 pins in so it gives me more confidence sewing these together. And then I am going to stitch these together right along, and let's go ahead and show this, right along this line right here. So my goal is to stitch right like that, okay? So I'm going to stitch right along here, and then that will make that all match up. And I'm looking to cross over. The magic spot is to cross over where those threads are crossing over as an intersection. And we're going to just intersect it all over again. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this out. Bring it over to the sewing machine. And we're going to transition this photo. And here we go. Yes, I need to fix the focus on this camera. We need to stay that focus. So we're going to do that. I will do that for this next one since it's so close up. It's just wanting to change whichever way it possibly can. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just bring this through. And I definitely want to do the intersection. I'm sorry that keeps going in and out of focus. So that intersection point is right there. And we're going to bring that right across. Okay. Here we go, and then we'll see if we've got a good matchup for everything. These squares could have been squared up too. We will want to square this up at the very end. Okay, don't have my needle down or I'll break my thread, right? Okay, there we go. I'm going to take out the pins. Let's see if we matched. Don't do that. Don't go focus out of focus.
Shelly says the camera work is impressive. Kudos on the new setup.
Okay, we're going to switch to the overhead. Let's go back to the overhead. Seems to, that little camera's being a little naughty. Oh my gosh, it didn't match up. Okay, this needs to scoot over. What happened? This scooted way down. I should have put my pins up higher. You guys, it didn't match. Okay, I'm going to unpick this and I'm going to make sure that this one matches closer over. Does that make sense? All right, so what I am going to do is I'm going to square this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and just give it a press. We'll pretend like that matches just slightly. Okay, but I'm not going to make this video last forever. Okay, here we go. Let's just go ahead and give it a press. And then what we're going to do now is just go ahead and sew this block to this one. And this is the side that I need to put to fix. So I'm going to square up this block. So I want to show you guys this part. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this. So you can see that when I'm doing this, I have this seam right here. And when I square up this block, I'm going to square it up so that my ruler is actually hitting that seam. Does that make sense, everybody? Boy, doesn't this improve with the camera shots? I'm so sorry it took me a while to get online, but I had to learn so many new software programs, and then I'm using my own existing cameras. And then we're going to want to square this side up too. So we're going to once again go ahead and make sure it's perpendicular. I've got something matching there, and I'm matching up to this seam right here. I'm going to bring that over just a little bit more, and I will have to repair this when I'm done. And over here, I'm going to go ahead, and I know that this is a square edge right down here, and I'm going to lay that down on there, and I'm going to square this up. So you can see, especially when you're working with triangles, as you press, the fabric shifts. I'm not going to square up this edge because I still need to move this fabric up a little bit. But what we are going to do is we're going to finish this block section. Let's go ahead and move this over. Let's trim off these extra threads, and we're going to line this up right there like that. And as we do this, we are also going to make sure that this is matched up right here. Okay, so once again, we've got these little flaps from the seams. We're going to go ahead and match those together and then bring them together. So you can see that's a nice match. Let's go ahead and pin a little bit closer to where I'm trying to get, and we'll pin right over here. And then this would be the completion of part C of the Stitch Happens block. Okay, you guys, I can't wait to give away the Aurifil thread. Thanks everybody for sticking with me and watching everything. But I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. So we're going to go over to this annoying camera that keeps changing its focus. And I am going to fix that for our next video. So thank you for your patience as we are getting the kinks out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just line this up. Do it kind of our scant 1/4 inch again. And I've got some good pins in there that it's going to match. Okay, there we go. Oh, needle up or else I'll break it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to press this one more time, but I think you guys have the point. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera back on me so that I can see you guys. So let's go ahead and take the pins out of here. And I guess I can bring up my glasses. So, but look, it matched. So what we were trying to do here is match, oh, it goes this way on the quilt. So you can see we're trying to match this entire seam down the entire center right there. So you can see how that works. And it looks just beautiful. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. I think it's a very, very lovely block. So thanks you guys for all the thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, good. I'm so glad. We have some more giveaways to ship. Vanessa has been in and out of town. I was out of town. And then now I'm back in town, but she just left again. And so it's kind of cute. But we do have some more things to ship. I just haven't given all the addresses to Vanessa, which is my fault. But look at that. That looks wonderful. That's going to go in this part of the little quilt down here by the sewing machine needle. So it's right down in there. It's kind of small, but that's what it looks like. Once again, my basket from Liz Boyce from Canada. I am just so grateful. Liz has ordered some things from the shop, and we've actually sent several different packages to her. Now remember, my part C, I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm going to go ahead and pin that section to it so I don't have to constantly remember. So remember that I'm going to go ahead and refocus that camera. Does that camera seem a little out of focus? There we go. Let's see. But we are going to go ahead and keep that marked as part C. So there we go. So these are my pieces. Oh, you guys, look. I have my diamond still missing. Isn't that a bummer? It has a big hole in the middle of the diamond. I think I'm going to have to, maybe I'll do the overhead shot to show you guys. But I did do a picture with all of this. I've given up trying to find my mother's diamond. I think I'm going to get a cubic zirconia because I can't replace that diamond. It was my mother's. I don't know. Why spend money on things like that, right? Just crazy. Especially, I'm really hoping that I will find the diamond. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So yes, Liz, we'll have to, Liz, I'm so glad. Oh, there she is. Liz is on. So I put all of my pieces back in this. It is so lovely, Liz. I just really want to thank you for this lovely, lovely gift. So Liz is on there. It actually touched my heart so much that I cried. I really did when I got this in the mail. I don't have very many people that actually make me homemade things. Or I make a lot of homemade gifts, but not very many people actually make me something. And I'm using this to hold all of the Stitch Happens fabric. So thank you, Liz, so much. So anyways, you are just absolutely lovely. And I love the fabric. It looks like symbols that are on it. So, okay. Well, let's go ahead and get to business. I want to go ahead and share some of this Aurifil thread. I need Let's see here, Corey. I need something to write on. Now, I am going to do some more videos. We're going to get, oh, look, Corey gave me. We're going to do some more videos. We're going to do a video on how to layer your farmhouse floral quilt. It's right over on this side. I'm not sure if you can see it really as I'm sitting here. It's so zoomed in. But we're going to, I have, my top is complete, and we're going to actually, I'm going to teach you how I layer my quilts. And I'm going to teach you how to spray baste your quilts or to go ahead and safety pin your quilts together. So I'm going to teach you all of those things. And then we're going to go ahead and take everything that we've done and we're going to push it through the domestic machine. So that's another video coming up. We'll continue to do segments of the Stitch Happens quilt because I cannot wait to have this hanging in my sewing room. And we're going to just get through those very, very quickly. And look, Corey gave me an itty bitty little piece of Post-it note to write the winners on. Maybe I need to write one Post-it note for each winner. You guys, thanks, Liz. You guys are so sweet. I know. I'm sorry my diamond is not in your package too, Hannah. I sure wish it was. It was my mom's diamond. And I don't think I ever got an appraisal done on it. And because I was she passed away. And then I really wanted to get it in my own ring. And so I don't think we did an appraisal. What do you think, Corey? I don't think we did. So, I mean, I could do a homeowner's claim, but there's really no thing there. Okay, let's get to the winners. All right, Mr. Wall, do you see some things in there? I hate selecting people because everybody is just so important to me. I love all of you guys so much. Okay, we have 6 winners. 6 winners with 6 spools of Aurifil thread. Okay. So, and there's some different shades. There's like 2 that are gray. I don't know, that could be just really beautiful grays, a tan, a brown, kind of like a light peach, and then this is like a brown type green. But I thought you guys would really enjoy these. Corey, do you have some names for me? Okay, all right. Well, let me go ahead and go on here. All right. Oh my gosh. This is so amen, Corey. You know what Deanna needs for her birthday, anniversary, etc. Hint, hint, hint. Okay, Shelly. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and have Shelly win some Aurifil thread. So Shelly Adams, you have some Aurifil thread that will be coming to you. If there's a color that you particularly like over another color, let me know. Josephine Henry. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that name. That was my grandmother's middle name. In fact, she was Henrietta Josephine, if I remember. So you're Josephine Henry. That's really fun. Okay. So let's go ahead. Who else do we have, Corey?
Tina Louise Scherer, Scherer.
Tina Louise
Scherer.
Scherer. Okay. And I've got lots of other prizes coming up for you guys. I'm really excited about it too. Okay, so let's go ahead and we need 3 more names, Corey. So we have Shelly Adams, Josephine Henry, Tina Lunis Scherer. Let's see. Tina Louise. I'll put an E on the end of that. Scherer. Okay, so we're putting Aurifil thread on here. And today is 4/20.
There's Clayton and Nina Reno.
Okay, so Nina Reno. Okay. And let's see, what else do we have? Who else do we have, you guys? I love the program too. I think it's a lot easier to see. Thank you. I worked hard. I had to study all these different softwares, study different ways to connect the cameras to my computer because I have 2 DSLRs, and then I'm using my iPhone too. So those are the 3 cameras. We have to freeze the focus on this DSLR back here. Okay, we need 2 more names, Mr. Wall.
Well, everybody else are just pages that are shared here.
Oh, well, here, okay, we'll come up with some more names. Oh, let me move this over.
35 shared.
Okay, so let's see here. We've got... Oh, Karina, are you on here? You are so sweet. Let's see here. We've got who?
Magic Friends.
Oh my goodness. Okay, it's so fun to see everybody. I missed you guys. How about Della Jordan? Okay, Della Jordan. Let's go ahead and do you. So Della Jordan, and one more name, Penny Dyson. Let's go with that. Penny Dyson. Okay. So we've got 6 names. The 6 names are, once again, Shelly Adams, Josephine Henry, Tina Louise Scherer, Nina Reno, Della Jordan, and Penny Dyson. So you guys go ahead and message me that you won, and in my Facebook Messenger, and then send me your email or your address. Some of you guys, I might already have your address because I've already sent you things, or you're a customer of Stitch's Quilting. So Aurifil thread. And I'm going to make sure, I didn't see any YouTube comments on here, but I'm going to make sure that there isn't anyone over at YouTube if they made some comments so that I know that they're there. And then if that's the case, that I have some more Aurifil thread I can share with them.
Gregory shared on YouTube.
Oh, you did? Ella, that is so sweet. Okay, Ella. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. Could you see comments from YouTube?
Yeah, she shared
oh,
YouTube video.
Bonnie. Fun. Thank you so much. I've had some YouTube videos go super viral.
Hensley said me.
Okay. All right. So Ella Gregory on YouTube. Anybody else you can see on YouTube that's made a comment or anything, Corey? Anyways, we'll figure it out. I'll go back over there. All right, you guys, it's so fun to see you. I'm so proud of myself that I've mastered some of this video and that we're getting it better and that we're improving, and we're going to continue to improve. So let me know what suggestions you have for videos and all of those kind of things. We're going to keep going with the Stitch Happens pattern. We're going to learn how to layer a quilt with Farmhouse Floral, and we'll keep doing so many more things. Oh, and Vanessa and I have the most wonderful things planned for Father's Day. And we took some pictures today of a quilt that we made that we have a free pattern for because we've written the pattern. And so that'll be really exciting too. And we also have a Mother's Day quilt planned too. So great projects coming up. So we'll talk to you a little bit later. I want to say goodbye, and you guys enjoy everything and enjoy your day. And I will get these things shipped out along with some other things that I need to ship.
It's called Mundo and Telas.
Oh, so another person in YouTube. Let's see, Corey, can you remember that?
Yeah, it's right here on the screen.
Okay, so it's M. How do you spell it?
It's Mundo and Telas. It isn't the person's name. It's
Okay.
Mundo.
Okay. And remember, if you watch on YouTube, there's sometimes less people there, so you can win sometimes. Okay, we'll see you guys later. I'm going to go ahead and put stop streaming over here, and I think we will be done. Goodbye.